A 14-year-old son of former Yankees outfielder Brett Gardner has died after falling ill during vacation. Now he's got two sons. Okay, so one of his sons' names is Hunter Gardner, who is the younger brother to Miller. Okay, so RIP to Miller falling ill. They said he died in his sleep. All right, so Miller is the older brother. So we have this picture here. Are we to assume he's the one that looks older? Maybe on here on the left. And you see the family here. So the one on the left looks like Miller, which is the older brother, RIP, falling ill, passing in his sleep. So I'm guessing maybe this is Hunter, and then you see Brett on the right. So apparently this would be Miller on the left. Which one do y'all think the one on the left looks older? I do. So we'll say the one on the left is 14-year-old Miller Hunter, RIP, and you see his wife right there. All right, so this trending story, former Yankees player Brett Gardner announces son's death. Here's Brett Gardner. Brett Michael Gardner is an American former professional baseball outfielder who spent his entire 14-year major league career with the Yankees. Gardner was a walk-on for the College of Charleston's baseball team. Okay, let's play a news clip right now, and then I'll show you some connections that I wouldn't even say I came up with, just connections that are right there. It's a gift and a curse I have. And the connections are obvious that there's, if this is something that just happened naturally, what I don't know how that makes sense because the way the numbers hit, I don't know how that can be explained, but let's check this clip out.
Former Yankee Brett Gardner announced the tragic and sudden death of his 14-year-old son, Miller. Gardner and his wife, Jessica, say Miller died in his sleep on vacation Friday morning after he and several family members got sick. It's still unclear.
You see the outfit here, but how come they don't tell you just to verify that it's the one on the left, which we can only assume?
On vacation Friday morning after he and several family members got sick. It's still unclear tonight where they traveled or what illness they had. The Gardner family says they still have many questions, and they released a statement saying in part, quote, Miller was a beloved son and brother, and we cannot yet comprehend our life without his infectious smile. He loved football, baseball, golf, hunting, fishing, his family, and his friends.
That's interesting. He liked hunting, and his younger brother's name was Hunter. And let's not forget the former leader, playing a role of this country. He also has a son named Hunter, okay? And I mean, damn, I just did the New Mexico bang bang pow pow. I just covered that story, and that was a park, right? Kind of like a baseball park, right? And that was connected to the current leader of this country as part of the role and the script, right? So that's interesting. You get Hunter, who's who's still with us, and he loses his older brother Miller, but we get Hunter in this story again. Interesting, right?
He lived life to the fullest every single day. 41-year-old Brett Gardner played 14 seasons with the Yankees before retiring after the 2021 season. The Yankees said the entire organization is filled with grief and will offer its enduring support.
And he's got that 11 on his jersey, and New York's the 11th state. New York equals 111 in gematria.
Enduring support to the Gardner family.
All right, we'll play the other clip after I show you and present these these slides. And I'll go ahead and just present it like that. So his 14-year-old son, RIP, falling ill during vacation, passes in his sleep. You know, this former Yankee outfielder Brett Gardner loses his son Miller. You know, right away I want you to know, I mean, the Yankees did make last season's World Series, even though they lost. They still made it, and I guess something has to give because there's always like a balance, right? Remember Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they lost the Super Bowl, and then what happened shortly after? His grandfather passed, okay? And we get that a lot with these sports stories, right? I mean, just because you go and you lose, it's still an accomplishment. They lose to the Dodgers, all right? And now there's a Yankee connection, and it's the death of Miller uh, Gardner here, okay? Son of Brett, excuse me, Brett. Now, I brought up this code earlier, gematria, okay? You see, this is a former Yankee. Notice how Yankees equals 80, and Miller Gardner dies in his sleep on the 80th day of the year, son of Brett Gardner. I thought this was interesting. During a vacation, you get 131 in the reverse cipher. Brett Gardner, 132, which is, you know, just one, it's the next number, right? So you see how those numbers are very close, and how you have both of those. You have the name and the word vacation right here in the title, and then you get 131 and 132, which is, you know, strange or not so strange that those numbers are very close. You see that? 131, 132. And that this is a lot of 14s and 41s that I don't think, I mean, I think this sets off the decode, because that's too many to be a coincidence. And the way these numbers just line up like that, what are the odds? He's age 41 and Gardner equals 41. The Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series 4-1. Brett Gardner had a 14-year Major League Baseball career with the Yankees. I forgot to let you know, 41 date numerology on his upcoming birthday, August 24th. The sun is dead at 14. Dead equates to 14 in 2 out of the 4 base ciphers. Brett Michael Gardner, his full name, 114, like 14. And you see both reduction reverse reduction ciphers landing right there. And then you see the standard reduction here and ordinal ABC 1 2 3. So you see all four of the base ciphers here. Or excuse me, you don't see reverse, but you see 3 out of the 4, and wow. And wow, and there's another wow on the fly because Kobe Bryant died at age 41. Okay? And Kobe Bryant equals 41 in gematria. This guy's birthday is on Kobe Bryant Day, August 24th. And Kobe's birthday is one day before, but Kobe Bryant Day is one day after because he wore 8 on his jersey and 24 through in his career, like the 8/24 Kobe Bryant Day and Brett Gardner's birthday. And that victory the victory who won the World Series, you see right there against the Yankees last season, the LA Dodgers. Okay, and Kobe played for the LA Lakers. Notice the score of the final game, 7-6. Kobe Bryant was born in Philadelphia, home of the basketball team, the 76ers. What else about the 76? George Foreman just died as well at age 76. And it's just coming up in my head right now. I dropped it in the comments on Richard West's channel. But Sylvester Stallone has the 7/6 birthday. Rocky, with that Foreman connection. And Sylvester Stallone played Rocky in the movie. Anyways, that was he was out of Philadelphia in the movie, right? Okay, so you can kind of see how this stuff is synced together. All right, and the last 3 things I mentioned there, I just caught on the fly. Okay, and there's obviously going to be more connections there, but let's move forward. And the 14-year Major League Baseball career, really? Age 41? Come on, right? And even his son dies March 21st, the third month, 21st day. 3 plus 21 is 24. And Gardner's got the 24th day birthday of August. And that World Series was in the year 2024, the last World Series. All right? And the Dodgers beat the Yankees. So, come on, right? Falling ill, 94. Dead, 94. Falling ill's got 49. Okay, same numbers, just flipped around. So dead 94, falling ill during vacation, falling ill 94. The Yankees won 94 games last season. His name Miller, 33 and 39 in gematria, just like New York. Just like his father's middle name Michael, 33 and 39. M dies in March, M. And I'm getting Michael Jordan vibes as well with that, the Kobe Bryant connection with the 41s and Gardner's birthday on Kobe Bryant Day and that loss to the LA Dodgers. Remember Magic Johnson is associated with the Dodgers, right? And the ownership group or whatever. And he's obviously connected to the LA Lakers and Kobe Bryant. Right? So, who Miller Gardner. How falling ill during a family vacation, right? When? Friday, March 21st. Where? I guess you could say family vacation again. Why? Well, like I mentioned, there's been a lot of success with the New York Yankees, and they reached last year's World Series, okay? So, even New York Yankees, you get 65 and 70 like Brett. Notice how all four ciphers come into play right there. You see that effect? Miller Gardner, and again, I don't know which son. There's two sons, so I don't know if this son is Hunter or Miller, but we have limited photos. I don't want to speculate, but he does have the two sons, Hunter, the younger one, Miller, the older one. Miller's 14, they say. So obviously this would be an older pick, right? But Miller Gardner passes 156 days before his dad's birthday. That's the 156th prime number is 911. And you should know by now that those numbers always seem to hit heavy with New York, right? 911 for emergency, okay? You see New York Yankees 191 in the ordinal, just Yankees 109 in reverse. Z is 1, A is 26. The 1 and the 9. And 19 also equals chaos in gematria. Notice how the 156 days, the death of Miller Gardner, 156 days before his dad's birthday, that's the same as 22 weeks, 2 days, Brett Gardner's last Major League Baseball season. Batting average, 222. You see it right there? And that was in 2021. It might as well just say 22, right? And I don't know, maybe it's the 20. Oh, okay, yeah, the 21 season. It doesn't cross over. The season starts in 21 and it ends in 21, right? Spring training around March, April-ish. Then the World Series usually wraps up in what? Late October, sometimes early November. But wow, look at that. 22 weeks, 2 days before the father's birthday, and that was his freaking batting average in his last season. You know it's by the numbers. And you see it again right there. Notice how he had 86 hits, and that means to get rid of. Look at the 39 RBIs. Remember, New York 39, Miller 39, Brett Michael Gardner, the father, Michael equals 39. Okay, let's watch the other video clip.
Tragedy striking the family of former Yankees outfielder Brett Gardner. He and his wife announcing the death of their 14-year-old son Miller, saying he passed away peacefully in his sleep Friday when they were on a family vacation, adding they have so many questions and so few answers at this point.
Gardy goes Yardy. He plants one.
Brett spent all 14 years of his career in New York. The Yankees saying their hearts are heavy.
How come the news wouldn't say or notice or what, like, oh, his son died at 14 and he played 14 seasons. He's age 41. They don't even need to get into the gematria, right?
In a statement, writing Miller had a spark in his eye, an outgoing and feisty personality, and a warm and loving nature.
Here's the play at the plate, and inside the park home run, Brett Gardner.
Just like his father, Miller was an athlete, playing on his high school's baseball and football teams in South Carolina. Miller's family says he got sick on vacation, along with several other family members, before he died. His family saying he lived life to the fullest every single day. So many questions remain. The family did not reveal the illness or where they went on vacation.
And that's usually how it happens. And when George Foreman died, they're like, oh, they haven't released how or where. So maybe we'll get more information later. I'm just gonna go down the article. I want to see if anything else is gonna pop. Maybe some numbers. Brett Gardner was drafted in 2005. Like 25, Miller Gardner's son dies in the year 2025. So you get the 2 and the 5 in there. And it looks like that's everything they give us with the article right there. Okay? The Gardners said they have so many questions and so few answers at this point. And I just think, come on, like, what's up with these connections and these numbers? That was a lot of 14s and 41s, all right? And they say he liked hunting, and his younger brother's name is Hunter. There's probably more with like the Gardner name. There's a lot of stuff in the language. His name's Miller. Remember Oliver Miller just passed, the big O? You know, college basketball NBA player, right? And there was another Miller that hit recently. I just can't remember. But that's gonna be the breakdown here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Even if you want to tell me, if you want to be negative, go ahead. I'll just respond back with your same energy. But wow, right? Is just kind of glance at those connections again. I mean, 94 victories last season for the Yankees. Dead equals 94. Falling ill, 94. Right? And Yankees 80. Miller Gardner dead on the 80th day of the year. Okay? 14-year-old son of former Yankees outfielder Brett Gardner has died after falling ill during vacation. Let me know if anybody out there, if you catch anything that you want to add to this, drop it in the comments. This is Math 2 Con. The channel is Daily Decodes 812. RIP to this youngster. I mean, at least a part of the story, right? Until next time, peace.